All right, this will be the trade recap for Thursday, September 4th, 2025. Looking here at the pre-market plan, we had a rally yesterday that closed just above the close from the previous day, so nothing too significant. Sold off in the morning and then rallied by the end of the day. And then overnight, we were just in this big chop zone. You can see it pretty clearly between the pre-market high and the pre-market low right here. Um, and my main watches were if we could open strong above um, 6474 area for longs. And then to the downside, I was watching either for a break of the 6455, which would leave room at least into 6435 demand. And then the third watch I had was if price did retest this level and bounce, I would look for longs. So here's those real quick. I kind of combined the bounce off of 55 or the break um, of pre-market high into this one. This is talking about breaking pre-market high. All right, so price opens extremely choppy. We're in a 9 point range to open the day right here at this high, or right here at this pre-market high. So at that point, I was not interested in anything. There was definitely some signs of or buyer absorption up here that you could have caught for that move down, but with the context, it just didn't make sense to me. So at this point, we're selling off. I'm looking for, are we going to aggressively break this level, or are buyers going to defend, and are we going to bounce from this level? So the first thing that really gauged or piqued my interest a little bit was actually right here at around 10:05. So you can see here's that large sell-off from the highs. Oopsies. Large sell-off from the highs. Gets defended here. Bid fills. Buying comes off of that. Another very large aggressive selling attempt fails, and we get some buying to come off of that. At this point, I'm seeing this as possible seller absorption, and if we can retest this and defend, I'm looking to possibly get long, trapping these sellers. Another key thing about that setup that I was watching was right here at the 61.75. When I was watching this setup, there wasn't really a positive delta here, and this negative delta was a decent bit larger. So I was looking at that also as a possible trapped seller. But then price breaks this level and fails to break and rallies up. And this is, for a slight second, I was kind of thinking like, oh, low a day, failed break, let's get in this. Sellers are failing, but trying to catch the failed break on the failed break itself has not proven successful for me over time. It could have worked, and it did work, but that's the type of trade where you might have to take it 3-4 times to get it, and when that happens, you're really skewing your results. So we get this nice rally up, and I'm kind of then watching for a retest of this 60 area to 61.75 area, which was that seller absorption and then that heavy delta I was talking about. So I was looking for now to see if a possible, after this aggressive rally above, I was looking for a possible retest into this level to now defend to show some type of passive buying here. And we didn't get that. We just got a straight rally up. And this is where emotions really can come in, because I've been patient all day, waited on that setup, and just was a little bit too cautious on it. I could have gotten in, which is so easy to say in hindsight. I could have gotten in just when we reclaimed above this 6460, and it could have worked, but other times it's not going to work, and I'm more comfortable waiting for that aggressive reclaim to prove itself and then retest. And when that does happen, then I'll have a good shot at moving higher. And sometimes you just have to miss out on it. Look for the next opportunity. So we get this nice rally up, and really the only other level I was kind of watching for to hold a retest, and I'll show you this. You can see I was looking at 61.62 passive buyer or 65.67. So the 61.62 is that 61.75 thing I was just talking about, right down here, and the other was this massive heavy delta at 67s. And you can see price rallies up, fails here at the 72s, gets a nice aggressive pullback right into that 6-7 area. Lots of heavy buying there. Passively defends after this nice momentum, and then we get a nice rally up. So there's that aggression coming in. Very aggressive buying coming in. Got a nice retest. Got a little bit of aggression that kind of got exhausted down here, slows down. Can start to see this getting defended, and then on this buying, when it starts to come in right here, I get in at 6469 with a stop down here at 6466. 3-point stop, looking for a high of day break, and to push into the 80s and then the 8.4s, which has been decent. We've got a nice push up here, and then it's just been kind of choppy ever since. So we'll get into the exit execution real quick. So long here at 69. First scale out. Okay, I'll be honest, I fumbled my first two lots. Usually I would like to get out 2 at 2R, so that was 7.5 on this trade. And for some reason I just moved it. Usually I have a limit with 2 lots. For some reason I moved it to just 1, because I didn't want to hold this quite till 2R because of this high of day, which was just 2 ticks below, or one tick below, excuse me. So I had a limit there at high of day, taking 1 tick below 2R. And then the way that rejected really got me a little bit emotional. And price failed, tried to break again, failed, tried to break again, failed, stalled on this try, and then on this candle pushed above and was starting to retrace, and I saw that as a sign of weakness. I really wanted to get out the second contract at 2R, but I ended up market selling out 1 point short of 2R, just to be safe and protect myself, because of the context of this trade. Where it's at this high of day. We're failing to break, and since I was originally watching kind of that bounce off of the 6455 and then to hold the 6460, and price had already rallied pretty much into my targets before I got in, that was another reason why I don't need to be too picky with this trade. It's not low probability, it's just slightly less, just given getting in closer to these highs and after the move kind of already happened. So that's kind of my mindset. If I would have gotten in at my original entry that I wanted down here, I would have been completely fine holding it through that. And I would have had a lot of my targets in this chop and right here. Anyways, we do get that push above. These two were both taken as trailing stop losses. My next target above 75 was 80s, but with the way this was moving in the context I just described, I wanted to trail and be safe and protect my profits. That's also how this one was taken at 2R. And then I'm kind of sitting in this chop. I've got my final runner at 1R, and then I moved it up to 2R, and then 1 point above 2R when we kind of started hitting this 80 target. And of course, that gets taken, and then we boom, push into the final target. That would have made me another 8 points on that final scale, but this is what it is. 2.2R on that, not bad at all. Pretty good execution. Very, very convicted in the setup. Confident on it, willing to lose. Really good patience today as well. Didn't force anything, so we'll look to continue this into tomorrow. Keep building good habits, and yeah, have a good one.